I don't know what the hell Miguel's doing here, is what I would say, but I think I see where he can be useful. But before I get into all that, let's talk about this chapter as a whole. Like I said last week, Kusakabe is gonna show out a little bit. Shit like showing us like a better version of New Shadow style, which he did in the most simple way though, which it's not a bad thing. Gege likes to show how doing something simple really can be just as equally as complex. Like Toto's boogie woogie technique, there's not much to it, just teleport when you clap. But there are caveats to it. When he claps, you don't know who he's switching with. He can be switching you and him, he can be switching you and someone else, it could be anybody. But Kusakabe's New Shadow style follows the same thing as Miwa, in which like the user of the simple domain will automatically slice anything entering the domain. But Miwa had to make a binding vow to use her simple domain, which is not to move her feet from where they are the moment it activates, or something like that. Kusakabe on the other hand is not bound by that beginner bullshit. There's no pact he has to make, there's none of that bullshit. He can just move freely within his domain. What I thought was cool is that he consistently parries Sukuna slashes. I swore, I did some panels where I thought he got hit in like the cheek or something, but I had to take like a deeper look and he was good. And I find this cool because I believe every time we've seen New Shadow style, it's been on physical objects like the kunai that Maki threw at Miwa, or when Kusakabe cut down those two fodder foot soldiers in Shibuya. Yet I don't remember physically seeing either Miwa or Kusakabe use New Shadow style to deflect or parry curse techniques. Really, the only thing I can think of is when Kusakabe stopped Kenjaku's Uzumaki from hitting Miwa, but we didn't see how he did it. Like we can assume it was New Shadow style, but we simply didn't know enough about Kusakabe to just have that definite like guarantee that it was New Shadow style. We just saw the aftermath.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigga on the floor.
Honestly, to me, Kusakabe blocking Dismantle is like Netero from Hunter x Hunter fending off Meruem in a deadly game of fucking patty cake.
What the fuck?
But anyway, it wasn't just the technique of New Shadow style saving his life. He can also expand the range of a simple domain, which ultimately saved him because it stops Sukuna from throwing the Gojo ender that is the world slicing Dismantle. Not only does Kusakabe stop Sukuna from doing that, but he also slices up Sukuna in the process because he expanded his range of the domain, so Sukuna's getting hit automatically just on reflex. Until Kusakabe's sword breaks. Kusakabe's throwing hands too. I mean, technically he threw his coat first. And honestly, me seeing Kusakabe with his coat off, I really thought he was Higuruma for a second. I thought Higuruma came back and Kusakabe looks just like Higuruma with the coat off. But regardless, when I figured that he wasn't Higuruma, hands were still being thrown, and he actually sent Sukuna flying with an upper body kick. Like mid-read, I was like, good fucking kick, man. It seems like everyone literally has hands in the show. I don't even know who trained them for that. I really wish they kind of went in depth with like the hand-to-hand combat training. And you know JJK is known for two things: jumping and follow-ups. And what Kusakabe followed up with was something similar to what Maki's father used to take her down back in chapter 148. But at the time, Maki's father didn't have a name for it, but Kusakabe calls it Moonlight Veil. I mean, that's at least what the early translations call it. But it's basically making a replica sword from your broken sword with cursed energy. I literally saw that shit twice, and in both instances, it was because the user's sword was broke. And in Kusakabe's instance, it was also his last attack before being cut down. Cause no matter what Kusakabe did, he wasn't beating Sukuna, but at least he was out there trying, honestly. I thought he would have been ran. And according to Kusakabe, he tried so hard for Principal Yaga's behalf. Because if Principal Yaga could see Kusakabe fighting right now, he'd be sad, but not because of the whole situation, but because Yaga couldn't fight alongside Kusakabe at the moment. According to what Kusakabe said himself, this is all Kusakabe's perspective of how the principal would be thinking. But moving on, Kusakabe gets chopped down. I know, inevitable. He's laid on the ground Zoro style, but with a scar like Luffy, which I thought was pretty funny. Then Ui comes in for the save, which, you know, he's been doing his job, or, you know, a job. He's literally the epitome of a support character throughout this whole series, and he's been unscathed the whole time, which we can't say for everybody. I feel like everyone got scathed more than once, and he's like one of the cleaner pair of characters. Him and his sister, matter of fact. I never seen his sister get hit. Actually, that's a lie. She was taking some damage from that special grade curse in Shibuya, I believe, but not enough for her to go down. But Ui's role is strictly support. He goes in to save Kusakabe, and then that's when Sukuna was about to slice him up into a fucking slice of life anime. And then he gets saved by Black Guy from Africa. That's right, Miguel. And I don't mean the let my love adorn you Miguel. I mean the one who, according to the note on the last panel, went toe to toe with Gojo Satoru himself. End quote. I I mean, sure, if you want to call getting pieced up like you're a villain from Ip Man going toe to toe, then yeah, they were more than toe to toe. They might as well have been fucking tip to tip.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
But seriously, like I said at the beginning of the video, I see where Miguel can be useful. Because remember, the sorcerers in this country made the rope that was interfering with Gojo's technique when they fought. So who knows what tools he brought to Japan. He can either try to flat out kill Sukuna or try to help those in favor of separating Sukuna from MEEEE, vice versa, before ultimately killing Sukuna. But how would he do that, you might ask? I mean, like I said, if his country, Africa, can make shit that interferes with techniques, then maybe he has something that could separate the two souls. But that's if he's in favor of the people that want to save Megumi. And honestly, that's the only use I can see of him right now. And I don't know if him splitting or helping split Megumi's soul from Sukuna, vice versa, would weaken Sukuna in any kind of way. But if not, I don't see what else he can really do here. He wasn't like a damage dealing kind of. He's strong. Even Gojo claimed that he was tough, so he's not a slouch, but I don't think he has what it takes to beat Sukuna. No one thinks that. He couldn't beat Gojo, so he's not beating Sukuna. So I feel like the only other thing he can do is help separate the souls. But what use would that have in defeating the ultimate goal, that is Sukuna? Maybe Megumi can use Mahoraga, since Sukuna had him tamed in Megumi's body. So if Megumi gets his body back somehow, oh, you know what? Didn't Gojo defeat Mahoraga with the purple? I don't know if Mahoraga's still a thing actually. I don't know what other beast that Megumi would have to fight with. Someone comment that down. Well, like who else you could fight with that wasn't destroyed already? Because if there's a beast left, that means that Mahoraga's skills and everyone else's skills that have been destroyed is going into that beast, and that'd be an OP ass fucking Shikigami to use. But if y'all think something else could happen, you got any more theories of your own, or just an opinion on the chapter itself or on the video, just drop a comment where it goes, and like the video if you liked it. Peace.